Hey guys, it's Yuzora. And today we are taking a look at the new Tier 9 Premium US battleship, the Illinois. So the ship will be available at the start of update 12.2 for 51,000 research points. And just like quite a few ships in the research bureau, she's pretty unique. But compared to the others, she's bringing it to the next level. So as you might see, it's the hull of an Iowa, but the main battery is quite different from what you're used to. In fact, the Illinois now holds the record of the smallest gun battery of any battleship in the game, as she only has 203mm guns. Before that, it was, as far as I know, the Charnos with her 283mm guns. But yeah, forget it. Now Illinois is holding that weird record. However, it's a pretty particular main battery with 203mm guns. It's basically Des Moines turrets, but made quadruple. So it's, yeah, 3 quadruple turrets, which are with the same guns and shells as the Des Moines. However, it's not exactly to the same level as the Des Moines because, of course, she doesn't have the 5.5 second reload. Like, one tier lower, having an even better damage output than the Annapolis. Not quite sure that it would be fine. Also, she only has the battlecruiser dispersion, so that's another limitation over damage output. In terms of the reload, it is the 9 seconds base reload, so 7.9 with the reload mod. And overall, it's definitely not a bad damage output. I mean, sometimes you will have some really awkward dispersion with the battlecruiser dispersion. And at long range, compared to the battleships, well, you will struggle a bit more to hit your shells because, you know, it's the very slow US cruiser shells. But then again, it's not even a bad thing, because at the same time you can, just like you would with Des Moines and such, you can just abuse island covers with the ballistic, which is of course always an advantage. Also, you have those nice improved penetration angles, and combined with the slow shells, it makes it a bit easier to get penetration hits on the upper belt of battleships or on cruisers in general. So yeah, it's definitely a solid damage output. However, there is a problem. Because the Illinois, she's sitting on a very awkward spot. Because on one end, I mean, yes, she's a good ship at farming damage with the H and the AP. But well, she's losing a lot of actual hitting power and influence compared to the battleships. You don't have meaty 406mm guns that can death strike a cruiser or deal very big chunks of damage in one salvo on an enemy battleship. And because of that lack of big punch, or that's, you know, the having kind of that fear factor that you would give enemy cruisers. Well, because of all of these, she's losing quite a lot of actual influence on winning the battle. she's reduced at farming damage because she doesn't have any utility consumable. She doesn't have hydroacoustic search. She doesn't have a radar or something like this. And yeah, she's then just stuck to farming damage. She won't be able to death strike enemy cruisers. She won't be able to. Also, she also won't be able to properly tank because, well, from the start, let's be honest, the Iowa ships, they are not exactly the tankiest. I mean, sure, they have the 38mm Casmate, which is nice against most HE cruisers. Things like the Oricat or the large cruisers and German A cruisers that can penetrate through HE. But yeah, that's not exactly great protection either. And at the same time, she also have, as you can see, pretty low HP pool. I think it's the same HP pool as the stock Iowa. So as much as she has the repair party of US fast battleships, well, it's not exactly going to be the ship that will be tanking a lot. And so at the end of the day, yeah, the Illinois, she's sitting on a very awkward spot. Because on one side, she has only a proper battle influence her damage output, like roaming cruisers, like the French cruisers, the German cruisers and such. But at the same time, she doesn't have their agility or concealment, or even, you know, side, I'd say that, certain consumable kits that would help her influence, like for example the Oricat, which has the real booster for getting big chunks of damage in a short period of time, exploiting broadsides and such. The German cruisers, they have their special hydroacoustic surge that helps them to make certain plays. To some extent, the Japanese cruisers have virtually good dispersion that would help them to slap destroyers, and they also have the torpedo armament. But the Illinois, yeah, I mean, she has high DPM that is somewhat limited by the battlecruiser dispersion compared to a Des Moines, Salem, and such. But that's about it. Unless you are facing like a cruiser at close range that can blap for a lot of citadels. Her actual capacity to make winning plays, it is fairly limited if you ask me. She also can't even properly tank like a battleship because, yeah, she has very low HP pool, and even though she has very low citadel, so she's pretty unlikely to get completely nuked out of the water because of it. Enemy battleships can still do pretty big numbers on her. So she's sitting on a very awkward spot, basically. Sort of an identity crisis where she's trying to do both at the same time, being the damage cruiser and a battleship, but I won't say she's failing at both, because she's definitely has a very strong damage output for damage focused cruisers. But yeah, that's about it. If things are going particularly bad, she won't be able to pull the W easily. So I can't. I mean, would I recommend her? Uh, yes, but it's like very low priority. Definitely ships in the research bureau with much more that are well that are simply much better. At the same times, I cannot ignore the kind of fun factor, even though of course fun is completely subjective. But I can't exactly ignore this either. So yeah, I think it's really going to be a bit of a I'd say that's a bit of a split in the player base when it comes to getting her or not. I'm pretty sure that Americans on the other side of the Atlantic will be jumping on her like crazy at the start. But yeah, it's not exactly a... It's a very awkward ship, let's put it this way. If she had a surveillance radar, for example, I could see her definitely being very interesting. But unless they make it, for example, short duration radar, or kind of the same radar as the Salem maybe, to keep her in line, because we already have the mystery of the radar. I could see her being a lot more interesting, but right now, it's more for having a good laugh once in a while, having the enemy team wondering how the hell can that battleship shoot that fast. God knows how many times it happened for me. I think basically one game out of two I had someone in the chats wondering, is your battleship shooting that fast? Are you cheating or something? Yeah, it happened quite often. But other than that, I was honestly missing the punching power of a proper battleship. I mean, even if you look at something like the Mecklenburg, with her 405mm guns, even her has proper punching power. The Illinois, no, she just doesn't. It's damage over time. Other than that, well, she has a nice anti-air because she has the same 76.2mm guns as the Des Moines and such. So the medium range is particularly good. The long range is also pretty nice. I mean, she has the 8 flag per salvo, which means that bad CU players will be losing a lot of planes from them. When it comes to the short range anti-air, it is pretty bad, but then again, the short range it's always a bit of a whatever, because outside of dive bombers that will be spending a lot of time in your anti-air, it's never going to be the one anti-air OR that will be dealing the main damage. Like planes they spend. Actually, yeah, when you think about it, rocket planes and torpedo bombers, they basically never get damaged by it because, well, barely get damaged because when they drop, they have their invulnerability phase, and by the time it's over, they're already completely out of your short range anti-air. So yeah, outside of dive bombers and carpet bombers, it's never going to be relevant. So yeah, Illinois, it's, let's say yes, but hopefully when they make the tier 10 with the fourth turret that was planned at some point, hopefully it will be more interesting. The Illinois, it's a bit of a disappointment for me. I was expecting a bit more. Anyway, that's all for me. No point waiting for the games to end because, well, just the enemy battleship running away and Yamagiri and I trying to hunt our CVs and the Balao doing Balao things. Anyway, that's all for me, guys.